All right, so how can we take action? So number one, absolutely. So Dave, I was going to say, you were out of the, did you hear that it was Amy's brand that has the first BPA-free can? Eden Foods. Okay. Go see Dave, don't see me. He's so much smarter than me, it's really embarrassing. Okay, big thing, you know, like I said, you've got resources here. If digestion is an issue, please get and have a great conversation with somebody. Higher quality nutrients, supplement your lifestyle. Absorption is really important. I don't think there's very few people that leave my office without chewing being on the recommendation. All right, and this is definitely something that's do what I say, not what I do, because I'm a pretty bad chewer. Cleansing. Also, okay, what is coming up next month? The first of a big season that we have here in America. That's right. And then what will be in November? And then December. And then January. What can we pull out in February? And in March. Should we go all the way through Mother's Day? I mean, let's just do it. Because we have a bona fide holiday season in our country. And what increases with the holiday season? Eating, libations, and stress. And then, has anybody been to their high school reunion lately? Well, you look amazing, so I'm not going to. Anybody? Well, you know, you'd be a perfect. Did you, who, I'm sorry, who did? Who went to their high school reunion? Okay. Did you see anybody change significantly? Okay. So many years of holiday seasons with not doing anything else about it results in the average weight gain of 6.5 pounds, first of all, but also increase in toxicity, yes. So what I'm saying about cleansing and removing, and once again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I want to get to the deeper stuff. It's like changing the oil in your car. I'll ask people, why do you change the oil in your car? And they like to keep it running better. So it's sustainable. So because I invested in it, and I'm like, exactly. So there's great cleansing products, but I think at this point in time, our liver needs a break for doing all that it does for the things that we can't have control over. We try to reduce exposure everywhere we can. We make better choices, EWG.org, okay? Environmental Working Group, write that down, EWG.org. If you don't know about it, it's a great website for everything environmental. They've got a clean 15 and a dirty dozen. They've got a cosmetic database. So if you want to see that makeup that you're slathering on your face is full of good stuff or bad stuff, you can put that in there. So it's EWG, environmentalworkinggroup.org, okay? Really great resource for folks. So the other thing in the liver that we're talking about, estrogen is kind of treated in the body like a toxin. And there's two ways that you can metabolize it. One is the good road. Two, it's the bad road. And diindole methane, so Nature's Way has DIM Plus that you can find. Diindole methane, DIM, is a component of cruciferous vegetables that has amazing properties. One, it's been in the bodybuilding world for a long time because of its evidence that it actually increases lean muscle mass to fat gain. Two, it metabolizes estrogens down so that they're actually efficient fat burners. They have health benefits, all right? Instead of down the bad road where you actually get DNA damage, more cancer activity, and obesity. I have people on DIM all the time. One, if you've had a history of any cancers, hormonally related. Two, if you're having hormonal sort of belly, that sort of menopausal middle, I guess we call it a little bit. And certainly any symptoms of estrogen dominance or PMS, okay? DIM, yes, eating your broccoli is really important, and there's other phytochemicals, so phyto meaning plant, but DIM in the correct dosage, and that's another thing that Dave and I think like to talk about. And I tell people all the time, like I have somebody that came into the office the other day, and she has high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So she got on Dr. Google, and she figured out what to do, right? So she's taking one Hawthorne, and she's taking one CoQ10, and she's taking one of something else. Where'd she get it? At her local drugstore. Was she taking an effective therapeutic dose of any of them? No. That's the other thing. When you come into a paradigm of plant medicine especially, we like to get people to actually not taking fairy dose type doses, okay? Like sprinkling, like that have a label claim, they've got to have a body claim. When you take it, is it going to make a measurable difference? And so that's very important as well. So DIM, you'd have to eat about 2 pounds of broccoli in one of those recommended capsules, okay? So you're gonna have social issues before you have better estrogen metabolism, I think. Okay. We're going to move on from here. Taking care of stress. Certainly identifying and trying to decrease unrelenting chronic stress. And the other tip that I give people, and this has helped, like I have a guy that works on the East Coast, but he wakes up on the West Coast. So by the time that he opens up his device or his computer, he has 3 hours of emails that have flooded him. And he started to become so anxious in the morning. So what we decided to do, and he couldn't do it because he figures the faster that he can get in there and answer all that stuff, the quicker he can get out of there, right? But it never stopped, right? Because if you answer one email, another one's going to come through. It's just like laws of nature, I think, right? So what we ended up doing with him, and he could only do it for 30 seconds at first, but it was a parasympathetic is the opposite of sympathetic. It's where you rest, relax, and repair. Sympathetic is that fight or flight. For everybody, it's different. For some people, it's spending time with your grandchildren. For other people, it's not spending time with your grandchildren. Okay? For me, like every time I get to be out in the outdoors or have wildlife, it's so funny. So I have a backyard, and I moved recently, and I decided to have these little Animal Planet television channels in my backyard for my cats. They're called Cat TV. So I figured out how all these little fun ways to feed the birds over here, and then I figured out how to like feed squirrels over here, and then I have my hydroponic, which is water basically based gardening system over here, and it's hilarious because it's total cat TV. They're like, they'll watch here and they'll change the channel and they'll watch here, and for hours and hours and hours and hours there's little cat television in my backyard. But that's what, I just love it because I love to see the wildlife. It just makes me, that's my place. That's what I create, right? And so for everybody, it's different. Some people like taking a bath. But what we did for this gentleman was he got started 30 seconds, we decided to take a power pause. Internal meditation, wrote down and thought about his 2 daughters and his wife, what was really important. And he took control over his to-do list, basically. He grounded his own energy in who he was and what he believed, and he didn't let it fly away with his stress and everybody else. And he's now worked up to about 7 minutes. And it's awesome. And he's so much better because he broke the cycle. Couldn't sleep, right? Taking alcohol at night, caffeine in the morning, blah, 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 nonstop, 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 no recovery. So we got him to start just breaking that sympathetic do loop. And so that parasympathetic activity, any way that you can get it in, is really, really, really important. Also, adrenal, did anybody see Jacob Teitelbaum when he was here? All right, if you haven't, when he's here, you have to see him. This guy is amazing. He's an MD. He has a product called Adrenal Stress End, all right? And that's absolutely combination, synergistic ingredients to heal these little glands that we pounce on all the time. Very, very, very important in hormonal balance.